the things that I have seen consistently be effective is carbohydrate loading. I do sometimes wonder if we're just correcting depletion rather than actually super compensating and filling out. And actually the De Moraes study made me go, oh, maybe it is more than that, because 5 grams per kilogram during peak week is not a low carbohydrate intake, and it is quite higher than probably what most of them were dieting on. But given that the 9 gram per kg group did look better and had increases in muscle thickness, maybe there is something to it. So I have seen success with individualized carbohydrate loading strategies. This is one of the reasons why I like refeeds and diet breaks. Is it gives you the opportunity to play with what is our new maintenance and how much can we push carbohydrates up. And then you can look at the time course in response to a refeed to see when someone looks their best. And people generally fall in a couple different categories. You see people who just linearly look better as they have, like, let's say they have 2 refeed days in a row. Halfway through day 1, they're looking a little bit better. At night, they're looking even better. In the morning, a little bit worse because they've gone 8 hours without eating, and then they start to look even better again throughout the rest of that day. And then the day after, they maintain that look, and then the day after that, they start to fade. But you see other people who kind of look a little softer during that process, like they are maybe retaining additional water, but they're also filling out, and there's kind of a lag, and they might look their best, say, the day after the refeeds. And there's other people who maybe weren't that depleted in the first place, or maybe don't need to load that aggressively and just simply kind of going more to maintenance look better. So people operate on a spectrum, and it's probably relative to their body mass, their diet, and just how depleted they had to get lean. So I think an individualized carbohydrate loading strategy that is timed in such a way that you avoid that quote unquote like bad load look, but also hits them at the point when they're still looking separated. And then I have actually had success, and this is anecdotal, so I don't think it means a whole heck of a lot, with, if anything, loading sodium, not like huge, but like a gram or two in the final days and day of competition, as it seems to correct some of those low blood pressure issues and seems to enhance, not in everyone, their ability to get a pump and therefore their appearance. But I don't try to manipulate electrolytes much. If anything, I try to keep them relatively constant, and I'm loading carbohydrate, and I'm roughly keeping water the same as well. And the big caveat, Greg, is that I do start to practice this in advance. If someone's on schedule for getting lean, let's say they're 6 to 8 weeks out from their first show, it's a great opportunity to change the refeed schedule such that it mimics what you're planning to do for the carb load, and it should be informed by prior refeeds, and then you can tweak and adjust leading up to it. And the only thing you really stand to lose is that if you're manipulating sodium to some degree, if you're manipulating food choices, it can mess with your weigh-ins a little bit. But hopefully at that point, when you're 6 to 8 weeks out, you're primarily relying on visual data anyway, rather than the scale.